An unfinished sculpture haunted Samuel for 30 years. A constant reminder of a broken friendship and the bitterness he held within. But what happens when a child's innocent question cracks open a hardened heart? Watch this story to discover how Samuel finds liberation from a lifelong burden, learning that forgiveness isn't for others, but for himself. In a small, cozy workshop filled with the scent of wood, Samuel sat among his carvings, his eyes drawn to an unfinished sculpture. For 30 years, anger had been his constant companion, a shadow lurking behind every piece he created. It all began with a betrayal that had left him a prisoner of his resentment. The sculpture, a pair of birds, symbolized what he had lost, a friendship shattered by a business deal gone wrong. One bird was complete, perfect in every detail. The other remained unfinished, a stark reminder of the bond broken with his best friend, Thomas. For decades, Samuel harbored anger toward Thomas, believing it was his shield and his strength. But deep down, he knew it was a prison, locking him away from the joy and peace he once knew. The bitterness had become a wall, isolating him from the warmth of human connection. One sunny afternoon, Samuel, granddaughter Emily, entered the workshop. Her innocent curiosity brought a fresh perspective, a light into the dimly lit space. She noticed the unfinished sculpture and innocently asked, "Why didn't you ever finish this, Grandpa? The other bird looks lonely." Emily's simple question struck a chord within Samuel. He realized how his bitterness had not only hurt Thomas, but had also isolated him, leaving him in emotional solitude. The loneliness of the unfinished bird mirrored his own. That night, the image of the two birds lingered in Samuel's mind. He understood that forgiveness was not about excusing Thomas's actions. Instead, it was about setting himself free from the chains of resentment that bound him. The next morning, Samuel approached the unfinished sculpture with newfound determination. Rather than dwelling on the past, he picked up his tools, ready to complete what he had started, ready to heal. With steady hands, he began to carve the second bird. Each stroke was deliberate, each curve bringing the forgotten companion to life. The scent of wood filled the air, a soothing balm to his wounded spirit. As the bird began to take shape, Samuel's thoughts softened. The bitterness that had consumed him for so long started to dissipate, replaced by memories of better times. He remembered the laughter, the shared dreams, and the camaraderie he once had with Thomas. These memories, long buried under layers of anger, resurfaced, bringing a sense of peace. Day by day, Samuel continued to work, pouring his heart into the sculpture. With each passing moment, he released a bit more of the burden he had carried for so long. The workshop became his sanctuary, a place where he could confront his past and rebuild his future. The act of creation became an act of healing. Finally, the second bird was complete, mirroring its companion in every detail. The sculpture was whole, a symbol of reconciliation and renewal. A wave of relief washed over Samuel as he looked at the finished piece. The weight on his heart began to lift, replaced by a sense of lightness he had not felt in decades. He hadn't erased the past or forgotten the hurt. but he had released himself from its grip. Samuel had stepped out of the prison he had built around himself. Cold cage of resentment had vanished, replaced by the warmth of forgiveness. Samuel was free, not in revenge or bitterness, but in understanding and acceptance. In the quiet of his workshop, surrounded by the scent of wood, Samuel found true freedom. He was finally able to finish his own story, embracing forgiveness as his guiding principle. He realized that holding on to anger only hurts the one who carries it. Samuel's workshop, once a place of quiet resentment, now resonated with a renewed sense of purpose. He looked forward to each day, eager to create and inspire. He began teaching Emily the art of wood carving, passing on his skills and his newfound wisdom. The workshop became a place of intergenerational connection and learning. Samuel often shared stories of his past, openly discussing his mistakes and the lessons he had learned. He wanted Emily to understand the importance of forgiveness. Emily, in turn, taught Samuel about the world from her youthful perspective. She brought new ideas and fresh energy into his life. The unfinished sculpture of the two birds now held a place of honor in the workshop, a constant reminder of the power of forgiveness. It served as an inspiration to all who saw it. People often came to Samuel's workshop seeking advice and solace. His story of forgiveness touched many hearts and inspired them to let go of their own grudges. Samuel's act of forgiveness had ripple effects, spreading kindness and understanding throughout his community. He became a beacon of hope for those struggling with anger and resentment. One day, Thomas returned to town, seeking to make amends. Samuel welcomed him with open arms, ready to rebuild their friendship. Together, Samuel and Thomas finished countless more sculptures, their bond stronger than ever. Their story became a testament to the transformative power of forgiveness. Samuel lived out his days surrounded by love, creativity, and forgiveness. His legacy lived on through the art he created and the wisdom he shared. His workshop remained a place of inspiration, reminding everyone that even the deepest wounds can be healed through forgiveness. The unfinished sculpture became a symbol of hope. And so, in the heart of a small town, the story of the unfinished sculpture became a timeless lesson. Freedom is found not in holding on to anger, but in embracing the healing power of forgiveness.